This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Official opening of Tari Airport project. Wapenamanda calls for government intervention. And UN and PNG government partner for 5-year Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework. Good evening, you're watching National Emtv News. I'm Grace Papiali. Thank you for joining us. The official opening of the newly upgraded Tari Airport project took place yesterday in Hela Province. Prime Minister James Marape with Minister for Civil Aviation and Transport Walter Schnoebelt and the National Airports Corporation made the formalities. Present at the event was Prime Minister James Marape, Minister Walter Schnoebelt, Governor for Hela Province Philip Undialu, and other ministers and members of Parliament, Asian Development Bank Country Manager Said Zendain Sia, Chinese Ambassador to PNG Zheng Fanhua, and PNG LNG Managing Director for NAC, and other key stakeholders. The people of Hela Province showered the guests in the Hela Wigmin traditional ceremony. Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea and member for Tari Pori, James Marape, led the delegation into the arena. The 79.24 million kina state-of-the-art Tari Airport has been completely constructed by the Chinese Civil Engineering Construction Company. Prime Minister James Marape commended the effort put to lift the face of the heart of Tari with the state-of-the-art airport.
Today, Hela Yuxim, Koltalo Airport, Loyubi, Nubla Terminal come up, Usadi go looking more family, must be work or school, must be Australia elsewhere, but you go through this plan. Now, me, I'm a much long leadership, Block Governor on the other, I'm a son of strong. Now support them this plan. Where national government can make him, national government make him.
This project is an ongoing and the largest aviation program undertaken by the PNG government with the support from the Asian Development Bank and the implementation by the National Airports Corporation. ADB Country Director Said Zendain stated that ADB's agenda is to support economic growth and poverty reduction with its programs. They have supported almost 20 airports in PNG with funding over the years, where Tari Airport is one of them.
This program is also unique as it has a younger national workforce of technical staff who are taking up greater roles in managing large procurement and construction work. ADB is happy to be a partner in this capacity development program. We want to make sure that we cultivate as much as possible homegrown talent through this program.
Chinese Ambassador to PNG Zheng Fanhua, on behalf of the government of China, said they encourage the increase of investment in PNG, and the company responsible for the upgrade of the airport, Chinese Engineering Construction Corporation, is one of them.
Infrastructure is the basis for economic and social development. I'm sure the new airport will open new opportunities of development to Tari.
Civil Aviation Minister Walter Schnoebelt also gave his remarks. He stated that National Airports Corporation is improving its system with an established partnership with New Sky Company to oversee the control towers of each airport in the country.
Bringing airport come, and by give chance you mean long, improving economic growth you mean inside of province Hela. But economic growth but come to all, the all people to embracing this development.
Moreover, Tari Airport was presented the Aerodrome certificate. This now allows for operations. The official opening of the airport saw hundreds of locals stand up to witness. The entrance of the airport is the symbolic icon of the Hela Wigman. Going into the arrival stands the spacious check-in center where passengers will get checked in before entering the departure lounge. The departure lounge is situated at the center, providing the convenience for departing into the aircraft. This airport will also cater for passengers from Southern Highlands and Anga provinces. Meanwhile, Prime Minister James Marape has urged the people of Tari to be responsible for the new facilities constructed in Tari Town and Hela Province as a whole. He also urged the people to invest in positive acts like religion, be law-abiding citizens, and be economically resilient in their daily lives.
Governor Ndialuba building village court. District Court, National Court Bakambek, Salim Golo Handlaw, Orlando Stadium, no need of fight. Because trouble fighters all Baravimi. You know, Hela Unisa go maybe marry a broken bank or make him a steel person, unnecessary trouble fight. Let him, peace and good order committee, village court, magistrate or stadium, establish a trouble fight, Papa, makes him life here too. October, November, this law of sensitive trouble fight act.
The United Nations Papua New Guinea, in partnership with the Department of National Planning, have signed a 5-year UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework, UNSDCF 2024 to 2028.
The United Nations Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework 2024 to 2028 is an agreement between the UN entities to collaborate with broader society and the other development partners to benefit Papua New Guinea. UN Resident Coordinator for PNG, Richard Howard, said the current UN Development Assistance Framework 2018 to 2023 expires in December this year. Hence, through strong collaboration between United Nations and the government of PNG, the UN implemented over 500 million in projects and programs in PNG over 6 years.
The cooperation framework is aligned with these goals of the SDGs. Our 5 priority areas, women and girls, governance, peace, and social cohesion, inclusive human development, sustainable economic cooperation, and environment and climate change. 19 agencies will be responsible for implementing this framework, and the guiding principles of Leave No One Behind.
Howard added, the cooperation framework is also fully aligned with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals and related targets of the 2030 Agenda. Secretary for National Planning and Monitoring, Connie Samuel, said this partnership with the UN is very important, and they appreciate the support the government gets from its development partners.
We value every contributions. The United Nations is basically brought to support our government over the course of 40 years of our partnership. The UN has always been there for us, and I think UN has been very, very much responsive to some of the emerging issues in this country, responding quickly to some of the disasters that we face.
Gladys Kila, National Emtv News.
20-plus journalists and media personnel are currently in Kokopo attending a media workshop in preparation for the 8th Pacific Tuna Forum. Senior journalist Godwin Eki files this report from Kokopo.
It's the Pacific Tuna Forum workshop for media held here in Kokopo, where several media organizations have sent their reporters to attend the workshop hosted by the National Fisheries Authority here in Kokopo at the Kokopo Beach Bungalow Resort. Now, several discussions were made this morning by the lead facilitator, and here is what he had to say.
Imagine The Pacific encompasses about 20% of the whole global exclusive economic zone. The rest of the world is share 8%, the Pacific only. And that's huge when you understand fishing in the Pacific. Eh? Now, traditionally in the Pacific, the sea and the ocean and fisheries is only fundamental for a few reasons. As time evolves, it changes. Okay? If we go back, say 2 or 3 generations ago, the main issue without people would be food security. We just go fishing for food. That hasn't changed either. But if you're not careful, that could be our biggest mistake when we begin to forget that you're going to need first to be alive in order to serve other needs.
Now, some of the topics discussed during the media workshop are understanding the types of tuna species, types of vessels that are allowed to go out to the sea, employment, and legal requirements of ships that are able to go out into sea to find tuna species.
Now, the common denominator in every fishing countries in the world is, and when we talk specifically about tuna, is tuna. But tuna don't just jump from the sea and get into the factory. Okay? Tuna needs a transporter to bring the so-called tuna, irrespective of the different kind of species, from where it lives to come into the factory before it leaves your country and goes somewhere else. So to do that, to get the fish out from where they live, they need a fishing vessel. To transport it from where it is to the landing site, they could need a transfer vessel or yet still the fishing vessel to bring it to the factory.
The idea to having this media workshop is to bring all the journalists of our region, including the media personnel of PNG, and socialize some of the issues, the policy context of tuna industry development in the region, and also to some level discuss the PNG national context of the tuna development strategies and aspirations.
Now, the media workshop hosted and facilitated by the National Fisheries Authority here in Kokopo is aimed at helping journalists around Papua New Guinea to better understand the work behind the National Fisheries Authority and how tuna can be managed in our Pacific waters. Godwin Eki, National Emtv News, Kokopo.
Still on media workshop, Jonathan Manieva from PNG National Fisheries Authority says the involvement of media in reporting on tuna in the country is very important. He said media has its way of disseminating information in a simplest form for public consumption. Again, Godwin Eki reports from Kokopo.
Now, representing the National Fisheries Authority's Managing Director Justin Ilakini here in Kokopo for the media workshop was Jonathan Manieva, who spoke highly of the involvement of the media fraternity, especially for the upcoming PNG Tuna Forum that Port Moresby will be hosting next month.
Aim to have this engagement with media personnel with a primary objective of informing them in heightening their awareness, their knowledge, and explaining maybe some misperception, and also wanting to feel, I guess, bring to par and fill in the gaps that the media might want to get more information on certain aspects of tuna fisheries. For this matter, specifically the tuna development aspirations of the region and PNG.
Now, Mr. Manieva also highlighted some very key significant areas on how the tuna processing takes place in Papua New Guinea.
On behalf of my MD, we are hoping that the media is prepped a little bit knowledgeable in the technical aspects of the tuna fishery development agenda. And when we go back to Port Moresby for the wider forum, the Pacific Tuna Forum, they are a little bit more updated and informed to probably cover and have representation and presentation of the different aspects of the discussions in the Moresby meeting. So that's a theme and the idea of having this discussion, particularly with our important stakeholders, the media fraternity.
Now, the 8th Pacific Tuna Forum will take place in Port Moresby from the 6th to the 7th of September 2023 at the Stanley Hotel in Port Moresby. Godwin Eki, National MTV News, Kokopo.
National MTV News continues after the break with more stories. Stay with us. You're watching National MTV News. Tribesmen of the Sauk Valley of Wapenamanda District in Enga Province are calling on the national government and other relevant authorities for an immediate proactive action to cease the ongoing tribal warfare in the district. This is to ensure the safety of the people and properties that are vital for service delivery.
These concerned tribesmen and women of the various tribes in Sauk Valley have petitioned their local MP, Enga Governor, Prime Minister and the Internal Security Minister to take a proactive action to cease the ongoing tribal fights completely. Yambaran Tribal Chief Saka Benbuya highlighted that it is the mandated duty of the government to protect the lives of its people and the properties that are vital in terms of service delivery and called for immediate action.
Mibla believe strong as any work belong government. The providing security belong all man, Mary, now properties belong all man. Now, we don't need to remind them, but we are forced to remind them that this is your duty. You must make sure that one of them in Bagara belong, you put him security forces in, now safeguard him well-being, security belong all properties belong.
Chief Weah alluded that Sauk Valley is a peaceful place and the government needs to step in before the fight escalates into Sauk Valley, so to protect many of the government and church-run services situated in the area.
This la pass me la make him long and lo strong in this la ground. Long first of all, long ask him government, long stop him this la fight belong to blah. But more importantly, lo side blow mibla. While you do that, we want you to mibla ask him government long put him banish long up, no got fight long. Now only must put him security forces long up, long make sure the fight escalate into our area.
They are calling for peace and encourage everyone to join them in calling for peace in Wapenamanda in Enga Province.
Mi apilo elites belong Sauk Valley lo Wapenamanda. This la initiative Embaran taking, but me lagi yumi ogara save man lo Mosby lo wanama you stop lo country. Please, you must promote in peace. You must not get sabot in 2+ side. Brother blow 2+ lo sigin 2+ fight. Mi bla ogara api lo sem fight and mi bla less.
Sharon Engnui, National MTV News.
In the midst of the ongoing tribal warfare in the Wapenamanda district in the Enga province, it has been revealed that women and children have been largely affected. In a press conference held in Port Moresby today, Sandy Miano, a women's representative in respect of the women and children, called on the government to intervene and deal with the perpetrators, funding and facilitating the tribal fight.
Or stop him, or leader man blah. Some idea thinking of stop him is la fight.
According to Miano, women and children have fled homes and have become refugees in their own land.
Because of Palestinian children, they are dying. People who are supporting this fight and buying bullets and guns, they are living an enjoyable life in the cities and towns, eating well and sleeping well, resting well. Where poor parents like Mama and me, Pigini kare mondam, cargo kare mondam, going from some refuge, house to house, place to place. This is not right. That's why we are appealing to you, government.
Miano also voiced concerns over the loss of lives of simple villagers who couldn't afford guns and bullets, yet risking their own lives for other people's benefit.
Ol man lo peles ol sore man. Olino sa gombam kan, olino sa gombam bullet. Emol sabe man, na money man, and businessman ol stop long up there fighting, panding this. Buying bullet gun. All animal sample expensive gun. We don't know where all these are coming from. All policemen die very sorry for them. Because all kissing all these weapons. Where they coming from? Some sources they are coming. So government, we call you government because people elect you.
She said they are fed up with this ongoing act of tribal fight and calls on the government to intervene immediately.
You not stable on battlefield. You living a luxury life in the cities and towns. And poor people are dying in the village like poor people. Like nobody's business. Young girls, women. That's why Mibla holding this meeting now. Now Mibla talk, I mean this. Member talking you to blank governor, member, please. You'll make an attempt to see the situation and take him on action quickly.
Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
Daytech PNG, with the support from Silver partner Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, today held a seminar at APEC House with invited chief security officers from clients and partner organizations.
Operating for the past 30 years in the country, Daytech PNG is Papua New Guinea's leading ICT solutions and service provider. The seminar held today was to share the latest technological advancement in the information and communication technology field and what Hewlett-Packard Enterprise is doing in setting the standard in innovation and creating a more connected world through ICT. Chief Operating Officer of Daytech PNG, Gokul Naidu, welcomed Chief Security Officers of organizations who are clients of Daytech and product consumers and also other participating partners of Daytech and HP Enterprise.
All of our partners, we deliver a technology forum every quarter. This time we thought we will split it into two sessions, one as a technology forum, the other one as a business breakfast meeting with the CXOs.
Guest Speaker David Pickering, HP Enterprise Account Manager, acknowledged the 20-year working relationship with Daytech PNG. Pickering gave a presentation of HP's current trends and what it means for technology in today's current technological sphere.
Opportunity for you for us to be able to come and meet with you and talk with you today. So some of the things, as Gokul just mentioned then, like some of the organisations that we deal with locally, but also like nationally and globally, there's just thousands of organisations that we work with on a day-to-day basis. And as we start looking at technology and as it continues to develop, what does that mean? Like, how is this being used? What's it being used for? And what are some of the outcomes that we're seeing?
Daytech PNG provides a list of services including ICT solutions and data management. Naidu also reiterated Daytech and HP Enterprises' partnership throughout the last 4 years since the reconstructing of the IT company.
Silver partner, HPE team, we have access to HPE team, HPE Enterprise team. And they work very closely with Daytech, and we collaborate with their skillful resources, and we identify opportunities in the market where if there is a client who needs digital transformation, they are talking about refresh of their IT infrastructure, then we work with the HPE team and HPE experts to design, develop and deploy.
The seminar will end this afternoon with a technical session and a networking of ICT professionals to end the one-day seminar. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
The Brian Bell Group of companies continues to support Papua New Guineans for the past 65 years of it being in business. The retail company currently employs 97 percent of Papua New Guineans and is involved in many charitable activities. Speaking yesterday to officially launch the Happy Helpers, an initiative by the retail group that will provide customers with the best service, Cameron McKellar, the group's CEO, made mention the company's employment status.
We support around 1,300 team members, and within that, only 70 non-nationals within the Brian Bell group of companies, and employs a lot of Papua New Guineans and associated programs of training, development within our company.
And now we take a look at the Nest Fund market report. The Kina closed unchanged at $0.2770 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Kina was buying $0.2695 US, $0.4132 Australian dollars, $0.2400 euro, 38.95 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copper closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National Emtv News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. Medical supplies were reported stolen at the Nadzap airport whilst awaiting transport to Kabum district of Morbe province.
4 out of the 20 boxes of health center kits and standard Edpost kits were emptied, while the rest of the boxes opened and had medicine missing. The North Coast Aviation staff had confirmed that the boxes of medical supplies had been there for more than 4 months due to non-payment by LD Logistics for North Coast Aviation to air freight the medical supplies to Kabum. The Kabum District Acting CEO Ezekiel Nigo was at Nadzap Airport and confirmed the empty boxes of medical supplies today. Provincial Services Improvement Program Coordinator Sebastian Singiri was also present at the Nadzap terminal today and confirmed the stolen medical supplies and advised the NCA staff to send the boxes of medicine on the first load of charter by the end of the week to be picked up by officials at Kabum before the launching of Indigan Kabum Road project on Friday, 1st of September 2023. Amanda Elaitia, National Emtv News.
Today, Port Moresby Nature Park has announced the Snaketastic event, which initially started 3 years ago, and partners with the St. John's Ambulance and event sponsor, Capital Insurance Group.
The announcement of the partnership with St. John's Ambulance and the event sponsor, the Capital Insurance Group, is to create community awareness to mark the World Snakebite Awareness Day on the 19th of September. The park will host the weekend informative programs on the 23rd of September. The event will feature a series of interactive workshops and demonstrations where experts from St. John's Ambulance will provide valuable insights on snakebite first aid and emergency response.
One of the pillars of St. John Ambulance is our first aid training, and we believe that empowering individuals with the knowledge and skills to provide immediate care during a snakebite can make all the difference. And through our training programs, we educate our communities to recognise snakebite symptoms, apply appropriate first aid techniques, and seek prompt medical assistance. However, the role of St. John extends beyond just the initial first aid care. We work closely with our medical professionals and the hospitals here in NCD and Central and other parts of the country to make sure that snakebite patients receive timely and specialised treatment.
safety is a priority, and that is why Capital Insurance is lending its support. Capital Insurance representative Adina Tonke had this to say about the event.
We believe that supporting this program will provide vital education on the snakes in our environment and in their ecosystem as well, and how to be snake safe in the environment and out and about where we are.
The event is a fantastic opportunity for families, nature enthusiasts, and anyone interested in wildlife education to come together. Amanda Ilaitia, National Emtv News.
Meanwhile, the snake testing program also aims to clear myths and speculations about snakes while promoting their significance in the ecosystem.
Snake-tastic event in Port Moresby Nature Park is a unique chance to engage with experts, enjoying thrilling displays and gaining essential knowledge about snakes. Addressing the event sponsors and St. John's Ambulance CEO, Education Manager for Port Moresby Nature Park, Shelley Moge, also states the importance of snake-tastic program.
Snake testing is an important program for us here in the park. It also clears myths and also speculations about this wonderful animal. It also addresses the fears and also the importance of this animal in our ecosystem, and helps create awareness in local communities and also for snake safety as well.
The marketing manager for Port Moresby Nature Park, Jenny Isa, gives a brief highlight of the program.
From the launch today and onwards, we will create public awareness around our event. Our park program starts on September 18th, and we will have snake testing information put up right throughout the park. Our weekend program will commence from the 23rd and 24th of September, and again on the 30th September and 1st of October. The weekend program will involve snake awareness from our Nature Park team and first aid response to a snake bite brought to you by St. John's Ambulance. There will also be a hype of activities for the children supported by Capital Insurance and Theatres Limited.
The Port Moresby Nature Park team are encouraging children to attend this event next month. Amanda Ilaitia, National Emtv News.
National Emtv News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The PNG Olympic Committee, or PNGOC, had recently urged all sports targeting participation in the upcoming Pacific Games to meet their requirements by 6th of September this year.
The PNG Olympic Committee has urged that while many athletes have already received professional endorsements and are undergoing training, attending national championships and participating in international events, they must still adhere to the Justification Committee's benchmark requirements as it ensures preparedness and potential performance levels are up to standard for selection onto Team PNG. It was required that athletes, coaches and team managers complete 3 obligatory online courses on anti-doping, athlete safeguarding and prevention of the manipulation of competition by the end of this month. The parties concerned were also urged to be certified under the Oceania Sports Education Program. Secretary General for the PNG Olympic Committee, Alvita Rapila, emphasized that the courses were compulsory and that all athletes and officials will not be allowed to participate in the games if they don't complete them. Sharon Engnui, Trukai Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. True Kai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
The weather forecast for the next 24 hours in the southern region: Port Moresby City, cool night. Popondetta, mostly fine. In the Momase region, Lay City, possible patchy rain. Vanimo, possible brief showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, brief showers. Buka, cloudy periods with some showers. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, Mendi and Wabeg, mostly fine, then morning fog.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Wednesday, the 30th of August 2023. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.